So today we are going to talk about rebellion and Egypt. Now, when God sent Joseph to Egypt, it was to save his people. But nobody knew that it would take 500 years to get them out of Egypt. So when Moses went to Pharaoh and he said, let God's people go, it took forever, it felt like, to get them out of Egypt. And then eventually Pharaoh said, fine, let them go. And out goes the whole caboodle. And while they're in the desert, it was supposed to take them 4 days at, at most to get to Canaan. They rebelled against Moses and Aaron and God. And God says, you know what? You will all die here, except for the people that stood up and said, we can do this. God showed us that we can do this. God needed to take Egypt out of the people. And to do that, he had to destroy Egypt inside of them. Now, all of us are rebels. There's not one person that can say he's not a rebel. I mean, you rebel against your parents, you rebel against the teachers, against the society, against the law. In everyday life, there is something that you don't want to do, that you feel is not a part of you, you just don't want to do it. Now, I'm one of those people. If you tell me to do something, I will not do it. But if you ask me to, I will do it. Then I will go above and beyond what you ask me. But if you tell me, if you demand it of me, I will not do it. There's no ways. I will do it. And I never realized that I'm doing it until somebody once said, you know what? If I ask you to do something, you will do it. But if I demand it from you, you will not do it. And I looked at the person, I said, you know what? I'm really sorry for it. I did not realize that I was doing it. And it's the same with our walk with God. I mean, He's just asking us, but we're constantly telling Him how we want to do it. And we're staying in the desert, and we're not moving. I mean, we're going around the same mountain like a crazy person because I don't want to do what God asked me to do. I want to tell God how I want to serve Him. You know, I will serve you when you put me on the pulpit, but you cannot even clean the toilet. You cannot start at the bottom. I mean, if you take Moses, Moses went to the desert, and there he met God in a burning bush. And God said, I want you to go back and lead my people out. And what's the first thing he says? He says, there's no way. There's no way I'm going back. I can't do it. I can't talk. I can't do this. I can't do that. You have to do this. You have to do this. And God says, but I am with you. And then you still tell God, no, you're not. You're more with other people than you are with me. God says, I will do more for you if you will just sit down and shut up and listen to me. But we've got all these rules and regulations to say, it's no ways, no ways, no ways of doing that. Why do you want me to do that? And then God tells you, listen, yeah, go and do that. And you say, I've got too much fear. But a few minutes back, you were rebelling and saying, and now God says, just please do that for me. And you're saying, no, don't want to do it. I will not do it. Send somebody else. We've become so fearful of people and the way people think about us that God says, but why do you care? Why do you care what people think of you? You should care about what I think of you. Lauren Daigle sings a song, what you say of me, what you think of me, should be the most important thing in my life. But we've become people pleasers. Oh, please just do not offend anybody. God is in the offending business. Have you forgotten about it? If you are not offended to change, then please keep on going around your mountain. And then eventually you will die going around your mountain. That is why the graveyards are full of people that died going around their mountains because they did not want to submit to God. Can we submit today and say, I have a problem with being submissive. Because my whole life I was told to be submissive. I detest that word. But being submissive to God is totally different. It is not the same. You are not losing yourself. You're not losing your identity. There's a difference in that submissive to God and being submissive to the world. Being submissive to the world will lead to death. Being submissive to God will lead to life, abundant life, to peace, to happiness. But we would rather submit to the world and have turmoil and strife and all these things than being submissive to God. And say, okay, take Egypt out of me. Take this rebellion out of me. Can I rather be a rebel for God than to this world? Isn't that much better? God is not asking you to cut off your limbs or give up. Yes, there's some things that you need to give up to change, to be the better you. The person that God created you in the first place to be. But things and circumstances changed. So, what are you going to be today? A rebel for God or a rebel for this world? Think about it. Think about it. Everybody wants to be the rebel. Everybody loves the rebel because he or she goes against everything that you've been taught. The rebel was out of course. Especially women loves the rebel because they will fight the world for you. But in the end it will cost you. It costs you your pride, your dignity, your everything. But with God, His pride and His dignity is much more important. Think about it.